Welcome back to Joe Unfiltered. Today we have a special video, and I have my buddy Braden here with me. Thank you for having me over for some pours, and
of course,
we're going to do a little bit of a fun video today. He's got an incredible selection, as you can see behind me here. He's got a wide variety, some stuff I've never had before. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go through, I'm going to pick 3 bottles that I think are going to be absolutely monsters. And then he's going to pick 3 to see if he can beat the 3 that I pick. But before we do that, I'm going to have Braden talk a little bit about himself, his background, what he does, and then we'll get rolling with the blind.
Well, thanks for coming over. I appreciate it. My name's Braden. I have a wine shop in Castle Pines called Dodd's Wine Vault. And over the years, we have transitioned from primarily wine to a lot of bourbon and whiskey from around the world.
Braden, with that, what got you into whiskey?
Probably 10 to 15 years ago, it was getting more popular in the marketplace. People were asking about it more often. And we decided to do our first barrel pick, which was a Buffalo Trace. And loved the experience. And I loved how unique the pick was compared to regular Buffalo Trace. And so since then, we've now done over 70 picks.
Wow.
Been to Kentucky multiple times and really fallen in love with the industry and just how similar whiskey has become in my world to wine. Being able to pick up little differences, waiting for the new releases, and really being able to kind of dissect them for better or worse. But it's just exploded, and here we are.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great story. To have a Buffalo Trace pick as like your first pick. I know a lot of the folks, they love a good Buffalo Trace pick, and you said the variation you get on a Buffalo Trace pick, so different than the standard release. You know, the notes, the sweet, you can get a little funk with some of them. You can't beat it. So it's a hell of a pick to start with.
Yeah, fun one.
That's awesome. All right, I perused his bar. I went through, like I said, he's got an incredible collection. I picked 3 bottles that I think are going to be monsters. All of these I've actually never had before. I've had different versions. We have a few different ones, but we have a William LaRue Weller. This is a 2017 coming in at 134.6 proof. For my second bottle, we have the Old Carter. This is 117.6 proof. This is barrel number 1, bottle 116. For my third pick, we have the Bardstown Bourbon Company Carter Cellars Finished Whiskey. This is coming in at 108 proof. This was finished in Napa Cabernet barrels, so really excited to add this to the list as well. All right, my picks have been poured up. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the room. Braden's gonna go ahead and pour up some monsters that he thinks are gonna compete with the ones I selected.
All right, so we're gonna fool Joe with a couple of my favorites. One that I know he's never had and is one of my all-time favorites. There's this label called Fern Creek. This label is owned by Owen Powell, who currently runs Neat Whiskey Bar in downtown Louisville. He owns the rights to a handful of old labels. All of his product is purchased juice, but he does something amazing to these whiskeys to get an insane amount of funk that I absolutely love. I tasted this the first time I was at a speakeasy in Bardstown. Tracked him down, and since then, whenever he finds a bottle, he sells it to me. This is coming in at 120.5 proof. Second, we're going to go with the favorite that everybody knows. Toss this into a mix, see if it's really made of what people think. Lastly, we're going to go with Old Louisville. I actually find a lot of similarities between this brand and Old Carter, and I think it's going to be a fun comparison. These guys only do high age statement, high proof whiskeys. And they get a fantastic aromatic and viscosity that typically I just find in Old Carter. Let's see what he thinks.
I have no idea what Braden has poured, so we're going to go ahead and start this blind. And then we're going to start ranking these. We're going to be moving our glasses around and deciding which ones we prefer. So let's get rolling. We're back left. Oh man. There's like a little bit of like a cherry and peanut brittle in there.
That's exactly what I get. Fantastic aromatics, and you really pick up that ripe red fruit.
Yeah,
right out of the gate.
Time.
Peanut brittle is also a good call. It's a little bit of a dusty kind of basement note that I can see that peanut brittle.
There's something else in there.
Comparison.
to me, it's reminiscent of like a turkey product, but I think it's the dusty kind of note that I'm smelling. All right, I'm going for the palate. Oh goodness!
Rich.
Wow.
Ripe.
Yeah.
A little bit of spice, but really the viscosity on this is
Oh, that mouthfeel.
fantastic.
There's a little bit of a numbing effect on the side of my cheeks that I love. I don't know what that is, but it's funky, it's sweet, it's rich. The nose, what you get on the nose definitely comes through on the palate, like a little bit of that like, peanutty, like. But it's not like, it's more of like a caramel kind of nuttiness, and then there's definitely a little bit of funk in there. Wow, that is nuts.
Delicious, nonetheless.
Now I'm getting more cherry on the nose, going back to it.
That's about the most amount of cherry I've ever picked up on a whiskey.
Yeah. Next glass. Whoa.
Almost cognac-like on this one.
Oh, that's a good note. A little cognac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Armagnac cognac, like, is almost like a fermented fruit kind of note, like, and that's what I'm trying to.
I actually dig it. It's not super aromatic. It's just a touch muted, but what is there is it's one of those smells that you want to continually keep smelling.
Keep smelling, yeah. It's almost like if you, it sounds weird, but like if you took like whipped cream, mix it with like maraschino cherry, and like blended it up really well, like. I get like it's almost like a Twizzler. I don't know what that is.
Pretty good call, man.
Yeah, I don't.
That's really
But you can get it with like the Armagnac or like cognac. Like,
Are you also picking up a little bit of like amaretto?
mm-hmm. That's it right there. Amaretto. 100%. Yeah.
Picking up some amaretto, but I'm also picking up just a hint of a dusty note on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whoa.
Stunning on the palate. Rich, viscous, smooth, soft. Really goes down like a good cognac.
The amaretto comes through on the palate for
Yep.
sure. Yeah, definitely like a little cognac influence on there.
I'm also picking up just this hint of, it's almost like a, not in a bad way, but a type of glue, like a rubber cement, Elmer's glue note.
Oh yeah, yeah. I get that sometimes. I picked up like a Jack Daniel single barrel rye, the barrel proof. Sometimes I'll get like a Elmer glue. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Doesn't come across hot at all.
No.
I'd say this is probably somewhere between 100 and
Yeah.
106, maybe somewhere in there.
Yeah. I was gonna say the exact same thing. Sips right at his proof, I think, if that's what it is. All right, glass 3. Oh wow, that smells like a sugar cookie to me.
There's your proof. Bit higher on the alcohol. On the palate, I'm picking up a bit more floral spring notes. Kind of like right when all those trees flower.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of picking up just that essence in the air. Almost getting into some like jasmine lavender notes. Really pretty whiskey.
Lavender, yeah, that's a good like. I was trying to figure out on the palate. The nose.
I do pick up some fruit, but it's going to be just a bit softer. Maybe like more of a strawberry peach.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of like the dark red fruits or like the stone fruit. Strawberry, a little bit of strawberry. There's a citrusy, like a little bit of a citrusy note. I don't know what that is. Definitely tastes the proof though. That thing's wild.
Yeah, definitely higher proof, but it's well integrated.
Yeah.
It's there, but it's not.
Not overpowering.
It's not distraught or.
Yeah.
So on the citrus, I hear what you're saying. Maybe a bit of a like an orange or a mandarin.
Yeah.
Zest.
Mandarin would be perfect.
Okay, number 4.
Number 4. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks for having me over.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, this is a good time. Okay. Okay, this one I get You're at a Rockies game, course field. You get the pack of peanuts, like a salted, shelled peanut.
Great call.
Big time.
So a lot of times when I discuss the type of funk that I like, this is what I'm looking for.
Is this it? Okay.
It's not like super dusty. It's not the forest floor. It's not the kind of stinky. It's more of this type of kind of nutty, nutty barnyard is kind of where I put this.
Oh, okay. I like that. A little bit of hay. I love the nose on this. This might be the nose so far out of all the glasses. I love this one. You can give this to me in a candle?
Me too.
This smells great.
And to me, that palette is bonkers good. You get the peanut brittle, kind of like that Babe Ruth candy bar. No,
yes.
a Payday.
Payday.
You get the toffee.
Yes.
You get the nuts. Rich, creamy, smooth, and it's got plenty of proof. I mean, this is, in my opinion, a world-class whiskey right here.
Yeah. That's nuts. I don't think I've ever had anything like this before that tastes or smells like this.
I hadn't either before I tried it.
That's crazy. Oh, man. That Payday note
is spot on.
That phenomenal.
And just delicious.
The finish is great. It's viscous. It's making my mouth water. I feel like I'm getting all. It's just.
It's one where you want another sip.
Yeah.
Quickly.
This would be a problem. I would probably crush a bottle of this too fast. Sitting out by a fire or something, I would take this down.
Definitely some heat on the finish.
Just a little bit.
That would maybe be my one complaint about this whiskey is after you exhale a little bit of heat.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is pretty high proof though.
Yeah. But I think it sips though. I get some of that proof, but I would still say it's probably like, to me, it's like 121, 122 would be my guess.
Right in the mid palate though, nice rich viscosity, just a hint of sweetness there.
Yeah.
And right there, the proof is hidden so well.
Yeah.
I don't pick it up at all in the mid palate, but on the finish is where it just falls apart a little bit.
Yeah, you just get a little bit of that ethanol, that little spicy kick. All right, glass number 5. Whoa, this one smells like a dessert, like an ice cream sundae.
Lots going on there. Probably the most complex that we've come across so far.
Definitely the most complex.
I'm picking up a lot of baking spices, maybe funfetti cake.
Funfetti, there it is.
Maybe
that's
some,
perfect.
Snickerdoodle.
Funfetti for sure. A little bit of cinnamon. Yeah, I can see baking spices, the funfetti, like a snickerdoodle. Yeah.
You just start to get into some of those darker notes, like cocoa powder.
Yeah, that's a dessert in the glass.
Maybe
right there.
bordering with a little bit of coffee.
Did you put a flavored whiskey in here?
Definitely not. No.
That's crazy. That smells
super
amazing.
complex and fairly exotic, really.
Yeah, there's so much going on with it. It's almost like a little kiwi note or something in there. It's like a tropical note I'm getting.
I would agree.
I don't know what that is. It smells good. It smells really good. How do we keep moving?
I know, I'm in trouble.
It's like we're getting better and better every pour.
Very complete whiskey.
Yeah.
Great mid palate. You're definitely picking up a lot of those notes. It's not overly spicy with the amount of cinnamon that you're picking up on the nose. And then the finish is just seamless.
Yeah,
and
it's
soft.
just easy drinking. I think that's my only complaint on it is the finish. I was hoping for a little more off that nose. Give me a ride all the way. The front, the mid, and then at the end, it just kind of went down a little bit. It's not bad.
I would agree. However, with the amount of proof that I'm picking up in the mid palate, it's really seamless on the finish.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you get that little hit of proof, and then it just...
Then it falls off, yeah. That's a fun one, though.
Glass number 6.
very aromatic, a lot going on there, and pretty pungent. I mean, it's in your face.
Yeah,
kind of
very
explodes
much in your face. Get a little whipped cream on there, white sugar, vanillas.
Yeah, this one I'm getting a bit of stone fruit, apricot, maybe more of a dried apricot note on
Yeah,
there.
like a dried apricot. I can see that.
Man, another one that just coats the mouth and goes down
Whoa.
so soft.
Whoa.
Great finish. Finish, you're picking up a lot of those kind of candied notes, caramel, vanilla.
You hit it all in the head. Caramel, vanilla, little brown sugar. That caramel comes through like crazy though.
Wow,
That-
finish on this
that-
is excellent.
Yes, going from the
Excellent.
last one to this, the finish is just, it's chewy, you know? Like it's just rich.
That is fantastic.
Oh man. That might be, this is going to be tough.
That is excellent whiskey.
This is really, really good.
Well, this is going to be really tough.
What'd
There's
you
not
do?
one bad one in there.
Yeah, none of these have been bad. All of these have been incredible. Like I would take any of these, you know. I honestly would probably play secondary for any of these as well.
Yeah,
Based
yeah,
on
I
how
agree.
all of these taste.
Yep.
I'm sweating bullets right now. I'm a little nervous for what he's going to pull out. I know what I selected, but now we've gone through, we've ranked them. I'm going to go ahead. Braden's going to go ahead and pull off. For me, we'll start with my ranking. My number one was glass number 4. Let's go ahead and pull that out and see what we got.
Glass number 4 is the Fern Creek. Owen owns the rights to a number of labels that were around the 1800s. He purchases all of his whiskey, and Fern Creek is currently not being made. First time I had this was in Louisville, or actually it was in Bardstown at a speakeasy, and I tried it in a blind lineup and fell in love with it. I went back to Kentucky to do some more picks a year later, and it was totally sold out. So I emailed Owen, and he found a few bottles that were in Florida, and the next time I went out, he sold them to me. Arguably my all-time favorite whiskey.
Yeah.
Excellent, and sadly, you're not going to be able to find it.
And I see why you put it in the mix. Like
It's an awesome,
Yeah.
awesome bottle.
that payday note on there, the finish, it's just so well balanced. It's just everything I'm looking for. The sweet, the funk. My palate, I think, has evolved over the last few years, and just everything that was in there met everything.
And
out. What's the proof on that one?
That comes in at 120.5.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. So that's right in my proof point. Yeah. So that's a bummer that they don't make that anymore.
I know.
But now I see why it's one of your favorites. Like that is a monster.
Yeah.
That is so good. Second place went to glass number 1. What was glass number 1?
Glass number 1 happens to be the Bardstown Bourbon Company, finished in Carter Cellars, which
No
is going to
way.
be a Cabernet barrel at an Napa. And yeah, really mind-boggling. I've tried a lot of stuff in Bardstown, but never that much cherry and fruit
No.
on it.
Yeah.
And one of my all-time favorite Bardstown.
Yeah. I was going to say that might be my favorite Bardstown series right now. Like that is incredible. So Carter Cellars, Cabernet finish. I got some of that, like that malty, that chocolatey kind of note on there. I wasn't expecting it to swing, like to hit that hard up against everything else in here.
I would agree. I felt that the proof showed a little hotter than it actually is. It comes
Yeah.
in at 108.
Right.
We were looking at about 115, but overall, excellent. And
Wow.
also in my top 3 favorite picks.
So I just got to say, for everyone watching right now, that means William LaRue is not in the top 2 right now, which is kind of crazy.
That's correct. That's correct.
And everyone knows, like, I love William LaRue Weller. That's like one of my favorite whiskeys. So I'm sweating a little bit. Third place was number 6. Let's see what we got.
So this is a newbie. This is Old Louisville Whiskey Company. And this guy's doing some excellent stuff. He does high age statements, high proof, and all purchased juice, but an incredible whiskey.
Kentucky? Is that where they're sourcing? Is that?
So this is Indiana. This is going to be MGP.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a damn good MGP. Might
I
be
would
some
agree.
of the best MGP I've had. Aged in Kentucky, though.
Yes.
Okay.
He's right outside of, or actually he's downtown Louisville. This is 110 proof and
Wow.
excellent.
That was phenomenal. That was just, I mean, I could sip that all day. Very well balanced. All right. Well, William LaRue did not make the top 3. Nor did Old Carter. Which
No,
I
it
love
did not.
Old
Yep.
Carter. Okay. So I'm a little shocked right now. A little in disbelief. Glass number 5 would be my 4th place. What was that?
That is the 14-year Old Carter.
Okay.
Coming in at 117 proof. Lots of cinnamon,
Yep.
lots of spice, lots of baking spice,
Mm-hmm.
cake, snickerdoodle.
Yeah.
Excellent whiskey. A little bit too linear
Yeah.
as far as our taste profile.
Straight line.
But
Yeah.
excellent whiskey.
Really good. Yeah. That is one that, you know, I could sip that any day, any night. You know, it's crushable. But compared to the other 3, it didn't stand a chance. Okay. I'm a little mind blown right now. What we got up there. Okay. Glass number 3 was my 5th place. What do we have with glass number 3?
Glass number 3 is your Willem LaRue Weller.
Okay.
134.6 proof. Definitely not a dog. This is excellent, but
Yeah.
I think we both felt that showed maybe a little too much wood.
Yeah.
And definitely, I think it's the highest proof that we're pouring as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the proof showed on it, and I think that this batch, that woodiness, just too much. You know, like it was just, it's good. I will never pass on a bottle of that, but it was just, you know.
I would agree.
Yeah, it just was a little overpowering, you know. Wow. Okay. I never thought
What
I'd
made your
have.
top 5?
Yeah. Out of the 6, yeah. Dang. Okay. All right. So that then leaves the last place.
That happened to be the Pappy
No
Van Winkle 23.
No way.
Yes. Yeah. That was it.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah. That was it. I think we both enjoyed this a lot. It just was, I think we both felt the most cognac-like, where
Yeah.
it wasn't super complex. There was no spice. There was no funk. There was really no malt. It really pushed, as we were saying originally, I think it was kind of that off glue note.
Yeah.
Delicious, easy drinking, and we both agreed it showed the lowest proof. This comes in at 95.6 proof, and you can tell.
Wow.
And I think that low proof actually hurts this whiskey.
I'm a little shocked right now.
Yeah.
I've never had Pappy 23. It's the only one I haven't had. I've had 2015,
Well, now you have.
and now, well, now I know. Wow, my mind is blown. Now I want to go back to it and see, like,
Yeah.
Pappy 23. The things people do to try to get that bottle. That is insane.
It's a fun lineup.
That's a great lineup.
Yeah.
I feel like we had a good variety, all bourbons. The Fern Creek was a showstopper.
My order was actually pretty similar.
Okay.
Fern Creek is my favorite. I'm a little biased towards it, and I think I can pick that out blind.
Yep.
I just love the funk on that and the flavor profile.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
My number 2 was Old Louisville.
Okay.
I felt that was a complete package. Awesome aromatics, amazing viscosity, mouthfeel, and the finish went on forever.
Yeah.
Left you want another sip. That's the complete package. I'm excited to try more stuff from this guy.
Yeah.
He's fairly new to the market, and
That's
he's going places.
Monster. Yeah.
My number 3 was the Bardstown.
Okay.
Awesome cherry notes, which I'm not a massive fan of cherry and whiskey, but in this case, I thought that it was integrated, well balanced, also had some good malt notes, and a good finish.
Yep.
Old Carter's always been one of my favorites. I'm a little surprised I picked it 4th, but I agree with you. On this bottling, the cinnamon was maybe a little too intense,
Yeah.
and it left it a little bit linear with
Right.
that note. These are both surprising for me as well. Definitely the William LaRue Weller just showed too much of that kind of oaky pine note to me that
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it, but it definitely put it behind these others.
Yeah.
And the proof was a little bit high on it.
Yeah.
This I've come back to quite a few times, and I've never put that in my top few. I think it's an excellent whiskey. This is one that I would enjoy by itself.
Sure.
Anytime I compare this whiskey to others, it just doesn't have the stuffing.
It's flat. Yeah.
But if you pour it on a snowy night, you're not going to be disappointed.
Sure. Yeah.
So we were pretty similar overall.
Pretty damn close. Yeah. Yeah, and I'd say, I mean, any of these, like, you know, they're all really good. We're trying to pick it, some small things here, but I think and this I think goes to show that, especially now knowing what you threw in the mix, you can find some of these more readily available. I know Fern Creek's unavailable, but Old Louisville, the Old Carter finish here on the Bardstown, Old Carter itself, you can get some great whiskeys out there that could take down some monsters, right? People go nuts for these, and that's what I'm always saying is, like, you can get a great single barrel that can beat out some of these. You can get a great just standard release that will smoke some of the heavy hitters. As you can see here tonight, I'm a little mind blown. Like, I didn't know you were gonna throw that in the mix. Like,
you have to.
That's crazy, but I'm pleased with the outcome. Like, this is a good time. So eye opening for sure.
Yep. For me as well.
Yeah. Out of this lineup, let us know what you think you would pick. The results may be shocking if you were to blind these, but let us know what you think you would pick. And if you've had the Pappy 23, William LaRue, any of these whiskeys up here, let us know if you've tried these. We appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.